Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Thursday morning to you all. Hope you guys are having a great start to your day so far. Got you an update weather-wise on what potentially could happen today in the weather world. Active weather ongoing right now, and there is going to be some active weather a little bit later on this morning and this afternoon and this evening. So we're going to talk about that. There's a flooding risk, severe storm risk. Seemed like that's been the main topic over the last it feels like the last several years to me, but it has definitely been a heavy topic over the last several weeks. So that's what we're going to break down this morning. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. If you guys got anything that I can pray about, please put it in the comments below, guys. Please do it. Prayer is powerful. It really is. So please put it in the comments below. We're still praying for the situation that happened in Texas a couple days ago. That's been heavy on my heart. It's changed some things for me. I'm going to probably say this the next couple days. I'm trying to just, be somebody that can help others. You never know how you can impact others. Be nice to people. Show people love, even if they don't do it to you. You never know what somebody's going through. Find ways through what you're good at doing, through your gifts, to impact others positively. So, in a positive way is what I'm trying to say. So, I'll leave y'all with that this morning. So, let's get rolling. And we got a couple things to talk about. This is for today. You got a huge marginal risk stretching all the way from southern Michigan all the way to the panhandle of Florida and the Gulf Coast, with two areas of a slight risk, introduced to this area. There's going to be a chance for some severe storms for the Pacific Northwest. We'll talk a little bit about that also, but we're going to talk about how this is going to unfold today. The tornado risk as of now is just at 2% in this green area right here. It looks like a kind of a morphed mitten, if you will. So we got a 2% risk of a tornado in 25 miles in any given location in this green area that you see here. So if you're located in this area, there is an isolated tornado threat today. Wind damage threat 15% risk in this yellow area, 15% risk in 25 miles in any given location in these little small yellow areas. And the hail threat is there too, but mainly for this section out here out west, where you always have those temperatures aloft that cool much quicker out west. So let's keep rolling here. And this is the excessive rainfall outlook. So this is for today, basically through tomorrow morning. You got a moderate risk. This is basically saying there's at least, let me make sure I say it right, at least a 40% chance of flash flooding guidance being met in this red area between now and throughout the rest of the day. So that basically flash flood guidance means how much rain have you seen lately? So how quickly can it flood in that particular area? It just depends on how much rain you've seen lately and things like that. So please be careful in this region of the country today. And really, this is ongoing really right now, and especially over the next several hours. And you got the slight risk of flash flooding occurring in this region right here, kind of tailing off into the southern Appalachian Mountains, into sections of southwest Virginia. So please be careful today with flooding. It's going to be something that's probably not talked about as much, but is there. It's going to be a threat. And it's all response to this big upper trough that's been plaguing the weather across really the southern U.S. over the last few days. And you can see the swirl on water vapor loop, and you can see how it's ripping up convection, not necessarily convection, but it's pulling moisture out the Gulf of Mexico, and therefore continuously firing up moisture down south along the Gulf Coast, and it's doing so right now. More storms will fire up in this area a little bit later today, and you can see it ongoing right now. Let's wait for this to update here. You got moisture already kind of funneling in through southeast areas of Louisiana right now, moving into southern sections of Mississippi and Alabama and the panhandle of Florida. And one thing you want to watch out for here in the next couple hours, watch out Pensacola and surrounding towns and cities, even over here down to Panama City. These storms right here could produce a quick spin up. So please be careful as these move onshore if you're vacationing and down this part of Florida, Alabama, places like that. As these storms move onshore here in the next 1 to 2 hours, they could produce a quick spin up. So please be careful later on this morning and right now. So we take a look at the latest HRRR model and watch this unfold. And we're getting into 9, 10, 11 a.m. We're getting into about midday right here, 11 a.m. Central Time. Storms really begin to fire up in areas of Alabama, even all the way up into Tennessee and Kentucky. These will continue and have more of a linear look to them, but there will be discrete, meaning kind of semi-isolated storms that you need to watch out for as you get into the early afternoon hours. At the same time, you will have some storms firing up in areas of upstate South Carolina and western North Carolina also. Need to watch these for a quick spin up also, where there's a slight risk extending into areas of South Carolina and a large portion of northern Georgia. This keeps moving forward. We're getting into the early afternoon hours. Widespread showers and storms in Alabama and the western panhandle of Florida. These begin to drift also into areas of Georgia a little bit later into the afternoon hours. And then Nashville, Tennessee, showers and storms begin to shift a little bit further east in the eastern sections of Tennessee into the afternoon hours. But check out Kentucky also. You guys are getting hit hard in central Kentucky. Storms firing up in eastern Kentucky also. And then you still got the storms around 3 to 4 p.m. around western North Carolina. Western North Carolina. And then you start to see a little bit of storm development in South Carolina too. Maybe around the time you're heading home, maybe around 4 or 5 p.m. But watch out for these storms right here in central and north Georgia. They're a little bit discreet looking, as you can tell, a little bit isolated in nature, not really congealed into a line. Watch out. These could produce a quick tornado. In fact, I'm making this video around 7:12 a.m. Eastern time. By the time it gets to around 9:10 a.m., they might upgrade the storm prediction outlook, and this might be introduced into a more of a 5% risk of a tornado somewhere in this area. I would not be surprised at all. So I'm only going off the latest and greatest information off the Storm Prediction Center, which keeps you guys at a 2% risk in this area. But, and it's probably due to the lack of kinematics in this area. I think the highest tornado threat will probably be this morning across portions of southern Alabama and the panhandle of Florida. But we'll see. These will continue to move through. We're starting to get to the late afternoon hours, really the early evening hours. This turns into a line of storms for Kentucky. Watch out eastern Kentucky around dinner time, a little after. And then a line of storms starts to come together and move into South Carolina into the late evening hours. And then maybe more showers and storms popping up in Alabama and North Georgia. But this will continue throughout the evening hours, where you will have some showers and storms continuing to fire up in this area. So honestly, it might be a rocky late evening for areas of the western Carolinas and Virginia. As the main piece of energy moves through a little bit later in the day, like overnight when the sun goes down. Rainfall is something we really need to watch out for. If we look out in this area right here, a few inches of rain is certainly possible. Sorry for the pause. I thought I heard my fire alarm going off, but it wasn't. A few inches of rain is definitely possible. This is between now and Friday morning, so a 24-hour period. 2 to as much as 3 to 4 inches of rain is possible in southern Alabama, panhandle of Florida, and then watch out for the southern Appalachian Mountains. You could have a couple inches of rain between now and Friday morning, and then just in this entire area, all the way through North Georgia, Alabama, the entire eastern half of Tennessee, large section of Kentucky, even West Virginia, all the way into southern Ohio. You guys could see a lot of rain today over the next 24 hours. You look at the Northeast and the Ohio Valley, really keep your eyes in this area right here. We keep this going where there is a tornado threat up here in Ohio. Some storms could fire up in Ohio. Watch out really right around lunchtime. That there is going to be a severe weather threat firing up in areas of eastern Indiana and getting into Ohio into the mid-afternoon hours to the evening hours. And I really think probably mid to late afternoon, 3, 4, 5, 6 p.m., you guys could see the worst weather, especially as you get into the evening hours. I think by the time you get to the evening hours, southwest Ohio, western Ohio will be in the clear with just some light rain. But as you're getting into the late evening hours, I think that this activity will really diminish very quickly due to the fact you have a lack of what we call thermodynamics. You don't have a lot of low-level moisture in this area. So I think the risk will be early and often in the Ohio Valley, eastern sections of the Ohio Valley, and then will quickly diminish as you get into the evening hours. But watch out if you're in eastern areas of Indiana. There will even be some storms firing up in Michigan and then Ohio. And then I think by the time you get into the overnight hours in PA and things like that, even West Virginia, you're going to see some heavy rain into the late evening hours. I think most of the severe weather part of it will be gone. The north central U.S., pretty quiet day. Some storms could fire up in this section of Wisconsin and northern Illinois today. This is more so cold core storms. So do not be surprised if you see a lot of hail reports today in this section of the country of northern Illinois in southern Wisconsin. These storms could fire up, and with a lot of cold air aloft associated with the upper low, you could have hail easily obtained. South central U.S., not a whole lot going on. Much cooler temperatures in response to this cloud cover and these rains. You could have some small hail in a lot of these little small showers and storms. Just the fact that you have so much cold air aloft due to the fact that you have this upper low influencing the weather here. So just some light rain, some gusty showers, maybe some small hail in areas of Missouri today, especially central to southern Missouri, but it can happen in northern Missouri also. But really, outside of that, pretty quiet weather. As far as temperatures, you see this weird area of cooler weather. These are temperatures, not dew points. That is that upper trough bringing its own cold air, its own cloud cover. So therefore, areas of Ohio, northern Arkansas, basically the entire state of Missouri, a large section of Kansas, a small section of southeast Nebraska, most of Iowa, northern half of Wisconsin, and basically the entire eastern half of Minnesota will be cooler than average today, as this cold pocket of air is there because of that upper level low. And then you got warm, moist air building all the way into the northeast with 70s and 80s widespread with a couple 90s here in the southeast, and then warming back up for Texas. But that's nothing compared to what y'all have seen as of late. You guys have been seeing some hundreds. From my guys out here in the Pacific Northwest, some showers and storms could pop up in this area, but there's a big question on how intense it's going to be. I don't cover this area much, geographically speaking. It's definitely not my stronghold. But I know you guys aren't accustomed to severe weather out there, so please be careful. In this section of the country, areas of Idaho, northeast Oregon, and then southeast Washington State could certainly see some severe weather in this section of the state a little bit later this evening for sure. But in general, warmer than average temperatures dominate the entire western half of the U.S. I mean, well warm. I mean, look at this, 70s climbing all the way into Canada, 80s showing up in areas of Wyoming and Montana and Colorado. So very warm temperatures even outside the southwest here. So later on tonight, we'll start to discuss the tropics and what could potentially happen. But I will tell you the signal is basically staying there that we talked about a couple days ago in the tropics. I'm really starting to think we're going to have something to talk about in the Gulf of Mexico, the Bay of Campeche, or the Caribbean sometime late next week. So we'll discuss that a little bit deeper this evening and try to figure out what's going to happen. But God bless all y'all. Stay safe out there, and I hope you guys have a great day.